Hello, my name is Ismael Gutierrez, and today I will be sharing with you guys a fun, easy math lesson plan that you could do with your first graders. And so the name of the activity is called Task08E Math. This is designed for first grade. It should take about one class period. The objectives are the students will make sense of mathematical concepts by manipulating a food item in order to solve a problem. Students will develop critical thinking skills, and students will work on number sense skills. The assessment is my students will need to correctly complete a worksheet that contains word problems for this lesson. I will use informal assessment. Students will be evaluated on the worksheet and class participation. The prior knowledge that students should have is they should know how to add and subtract numbers from 1 through 20 and some type of exposure to word problems in order to do this activity and complete the worksheet with his or her full potential. Students should be familiar with the symbols of addition and subtractions and the equal signs, also known as number sense. ESOL accommodations. The teacher should have several worksheets with the instructions and word problems in that child's first language. However, it's best if you are doing a group activity to put that ESOL student with a student whose English is their first language. The class activity description will be this assignment will help students practice their critical thinking skills by adding or subtracting word problems between numbers 1 through 20. However, there is a fun twist to it. Students will not be able to use their hands when counting to solve their word problems. Instead, the students will need to add or subtract to get their answers using Hershey chocolate kisses. Students will work in pairs of 2. However, the worksheet will be individual work. And lastly, the students as well as the teacher will come together as a class to touch upon what they just did. The teacher will pick several students to show their classmates how they got to their conclusion, and finally the kids will be able to eat their snacks. Now, since this lesson includes food, the teacher should send a letter the day before to the parents stating what type of snacks the students will be having in class the following day. In this case will be Hershey chocolate kisses. If the student has an allergic reaction to a certain food, the parent will need to provide on the paper a snack the child could have for this activity, and therefore the child could use the snack as a counting tool. Now, the materials for this assignment are quite easy. Just a scratch paper, pencil and eraser, the worksheet, a plate, a plastic cup, napkins, just in case it gets dirty, Hershey chocolate kisses, 20 per student since they're going to be counting from 1 to 20, and a carpet wherever you want to place them. Now, the strategies will be I want my students to learn how to add or subtract by using concrete materials instead of using their fingers. Using math snacks as a supplement to the current math curriculum will increase the use of problem-solving skills in the students' work. Therefore, I chose to use Hershey chocolate kisses as a counting tool for the problem-solving worksheet. For this assignment, students will be paired in groups not only to learn mathematical skills but to learn how to work with each other. Lastly, students will be evaluated on their worksheet and their participation in class discussion. Now, the content procedures are very simple. Have the students sit on a carpet and do or wherever you feel free, and have them do a warm-up activity with your students. The teacher should start off by introducing the name of the activity and see if they could come up with any conclusions of what they will be doing today. This is usually fun, especially for lower grade levels. Secondly, the teacher should inform the students that today they will be solving word problems. However, there's only one rule, and that is that they can't use their fingers to count. This will automatically get the students to think, well then how do we solve the word problem? This should be done in the carpet where class discussion is held. When the students have asked the questions, the teacher should inform them and say, students, your counting tool for the day are these. And just like that, you will have your students' attention. The teacher should then present to the students the activity that they will be doing, give the directions, rules, the time that they have, the outcome, and so forth. The teacher should explain that the snacks should remain closed until class discussion is done, and to be careful because their counting tool will be their snack after. The students will then be asked to do a warm-up activity as a class. A good warm-up activity for this specific assignment is to have the students count from 1 to 20 and from 20 to 1. This should preferably twice. And lastly, the teacher should at least do one word problem with his or her students, and always read the directions to your students. Always read the word problems to your students if they need help. The teacher will then put her students in groups and have them go to their different workstations where each will find a cup with 20 Hershey Kisses, a plastic plate, and the worksheet. For this assignment, students should not sit on their desk. Students will then be asked to complete their worksheet. The students can work in groups and are able to ask each other questions. However, they are not allowed to use their hands as a counting tool. Students can place their snacks on the plate to solve the word problem and then write down the answers on their worksheet. In the worksheet, students will have questions where their critical thinking skills will be put to the test. For instance, students will have questions such as, Matt jumped 4 times, then he jumped again. How many times did he jump? Now, this could be very easily done. I don't know if you guys could see it. For instance, okay, so Matt jumped 4 times. 3 and 4. 4 Hershey Kisses. And then they will see again that he jumped 1 more time. They will count, and now they have 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they just solved a word problem right there using concrete materials. Now, another example could be, we ate 7 muffins, then we ate 2 more. How many muffins did we eat? Bob had 10 muffins and ate 5 muffins. How many muffins is Bob left with? As you can see, I did addition and subtraction, which is the goal. Depending on the class period, the teacher will decide how many questions should be included in the worksheet. These types of questions can help the students with their addition and subtraction skills. The students are not only working with numbers, but they are solving word problems and practicing their number sense by using concrete materials instead of the traditional paper and pencil lecture. The teacher should walk around the classroom to see how the students are doing with the worksheet and answer any questions that the students might have. Also, once the students have completed the worksheet, the students should be told to clean up, place their worksheet on their turn-in box. That would be my source of evaluation, and gather as a class on the magic carpet. Having students go to one specific spot every time they just finish an assignment gives them and teaches them a routine from a young age. The students, along with the teacher, will go over what they just did and have several students go over the word problems and show their work and how they got to that conclusion. Once the class discussion is done, the students will be able to eat their snacks provided in their cups. Students shouldn't have more than 3 Hershey Kisses. Math can be one of the most problematic subjects in the school curriculum. However, when insightful teachers use different resources and step away from the traditional classroom environment, the learning outcome of the student is always greater. And as you can see, I let my students do math and use critical thinking and do problem solving, etc. But I let them do it in a fun and different way. And I believe that that way teaches them much more than just the paper, the traditional paper and pen lecture. And now you have a fun and easy math lesson plan that you could do with your first graders.